Jaden was on his performance on the training, we didn't select him.
So he was that a form of discipline, would you say?
No, you have to reach a level every day on Manchester United, and we can make choices in the front line. And so for this game, he wasn't selected.
Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Hit like and share buttons. A storm is raging after Manchester United's defeat at the hands of Arsenal on Sunday. In his post-match press conference, Erik ten Hag there speaks about why Jadon Sancho is not in the team. A lot of us have been asking that question. Why is Sancho not getting an opportunity with Anthony, in my personal opinion, performing so poorly on that right-hand side? Sancho himself had responded. We're going to take a look at what he has said. We're going to look at some of the backstory here, but I want to gauge your opinions on this situation. Who is to blame? Who is wrong? Who are you backing? Who's lying here? Who's manipulating the fans? And what is the outcome of this going to be? We're going to delve into all of that today because it's such a big and explosive story. But for me personally, sitting here, it's history repeating itself. On to Jadon Sancho's response. Now, I want to go through this because I think it's very, very, very important to take a look here at what he has actually said, because within moments, genuine moments of Ten Hag stating what he did in the press conference, Jadon Sancho came out and released a statement saying, people don't believe everything you read. I will not allow people saying things that are completely untrue. So that there is Sancho confirming, in his opinion, Ten Hag has lied. His training standards have been good enough. He says, I conduct myself in training very well this week. I believe there are other reasons for this matter that I won't go into. I've been a scapegoat for a long time, which isn't fair. Now, when it comes to that element of the statement, it's not good enough from Sancho. If you're going to call the manager a liar, you've got to tell us why he's a liar. Saying it's another reason and allowing us to speculate is unfair, because we could speculate completely the wrong thing. We've seen lots of accusations already flying around, which is unfair to label against people. Say what's really going on. He then also says, I've been a scapegoat for a long time. I don't think Jadon Sancho's ever been a scapegoat. Jadon Sancho is a player who has such tremendous ability, a player that I was so excited to see at Man United, and I truly believed he was going to solve our problem on the right-hand side of the attack. But off the top of my head, I cannot name you 5 standout Jadon Sancho performances in over 2 years. He has not delivered anywhere near consistently enough. And for a player who has more ability than Rashford, more ability than Anthony, more ability than Garnacho, more ability, in my opinion, than Anthony Martial, on an ability level, he's one of the best talents the club has purchased in the last 10 years. His output versus that ability has been horrendous. He goes on to say that all I want to do is play football with a smile on my face and contribute to my team. I respect all decisions that are made by the coaching staff. I play with fantastic players, and I'm grateful to do so, which I know every week is a challenge. I will continue to fight for this badge no matter what. And I like that. Okay, you want to play no matter what goes on, and you respect decisions, then get to training and prove the manager wrong here. This is how you get out of this situation. You perform. And look, my feeling on this is simple. Both shouldn't be doing this in public, generally speaking. I don't like that Ten Hag aired dirty linen in public, and I don't like that Sancho has responded in this way. 2 wrongs don't make a right. An eye for an eye and the whole world goes blind. However, I want to be consistent. If Sancho has got training issues, and this has been addressed multiple times by the manager, and he feels that now the only way to be on is the only way forward is to be completely transparent and honest and talk about it in the public, i.e., how Arteta did with the Aubameyang, then I understand it. But we haven't been told that yet. So as far as we know, with the information we have, both shouldn't be talking about this in public, in my personal opinion. Now, with Jadon Sancho, there have been training issues before. In his Dortmund days, City days for England, and now seemingly at Man United. These stories spread back 5 years. Reports of dietary issues, fitness issues, lateness, sleeping in, disciplinary issues surrounding training. So this isn't the first time that Sancho has had his training habits publicly discussed. So when it comes to who you're deciding is lying here, or who you're deciding is to believe or trust or back, I think it's important to review the history of individuals here. I'll be very open. If any of you can find me examples of Ten Hag lying about players in public and not stating that he rates Maguire but he really wants to sell him, we know that is a sales tactic. I'm talking about saying a player has broken a rule at the club and they haven't. So dropping a player because they were late, but they were really on time. I need examples of that to see whether Ten Hag has a history of lying about players. Joe Blogg said he couldn't play today because he got an injury, but the player wasn't injured and he didn't say that, and the manager's been proven to be a liar. I need some evidence of that. I also see people coming in for Ten Hag and saying, well, why is Sancho not getting an opportunity and a chance? Why is Anthony playing? Is it favoritism? And I don't believe that it is. I don't believe in this favoritism buzzword that's now used in football. If this story is true that Sancho's training habits are not good enough for him to be in the matchday squad, I'm more angry with him than I am with Anthony for being poor. Because you're almost leaving the manager with no choice but to play him. I don't think Pellistри's good enough already. It's my personal opinion. Anthony isn't delivering, but he's working hard. Sancho's not delivering, but he's also not trying to deliver according to Ten Hag. So I understand his decision-making. And although I don't want either of these two to speak about this publicly, the reason I'm siding towards Ten Hag is because I cannot understand the logic behind him lying. If he's not picking Sancho out of favoritism, he's going to lose the dressing room. If he's lying in public that Sancho hasn't been performing hard enough or working hard enough or doing what he's meant to do in training, therefore he's not in the matchday squad, if the rest of the team know that's a lie, he's going to lose the dressing room. How do I know this? Look through the history of football. If you start lying about your players and publicly doxing them with a lie, you'll lose the whole dressing room. I don't understand why he would do that. I can't think of a logical reason that makes sense to me that he would lie. I still don't want to see this played out in public. But of course, this plays into the hands of people that already want Ten Hag out. And I knew this would begin. And it's interesting to me because I was looking at the tweets and I was reading what people are saying. And it's the usual suspects who are outright 100% believe in Sancho. But they're the same people who believe that Donny was better than Bruno and Donny would have him out the team. They still believe Martial's better than Rashford, even though he's finished. And look, you're allowed to defend who you want, but you've got to at least back up your claims with logic and not just a feeling or an emotion. But certain Man United fans have already and will now turn on a manager. And this will be the 6th time in 10 years that they have done so. They will paint the same incorrect picture that Ten Hag is the main problem at the club, as Oli was the main problem, Jose was the main problem, LVG was the main problem. You will see buzzwords in every video they do and every tweet they put out with things like favoritism, patterns of play, accountability, and a better manager with this squad would do X, Y, or Z. They will defend the ballers. And it's their ballers, not actual ballers, their ballers. Their favorite players will be defended. Their players will not be performing because of the manager's poor tactics and training methods and man management and favoritism. The players they dislike will be underperforming because they're just bad. But remember, the players you will see them defend will typically be the players the manager wants out the club that the board at Man United couldn't sell, generally speaking, because nobody wanted them. Deep that. They will ignore all the legacy issues at the club, but by the way, haven't been resolved fully for any manager in 10 years. There's legacy issues still exist at the club now. McTominay, Maguire, Donny are prime examples of that. They will miraculously and very quickly forget about the Glazers and the problems they have created. The fact that they didn't sanction the sale of Maguire so we could bring in a better centre-back. The fact that we've been left so short in that area and the only money made available is to sign an old man like Johnny Evans. They'll blame that on the manager and say it's he who chose to do it because he has full control over transfers. He has full control over within a budget. You will soon see statements about the Glazers where they will say they don't pick the teams or take training, so it's not on them. How do I know? Because it's been done 6 times before in the last 10 years. None of this means that Ten Hag is above criticism. So again, I know some people will comment that. But you say I can't criticize the manager? No. I think we should criticize the signing of Anthony. I think we should criticize the performance against Wolves, the performance against Tottenham. I think he should be held accountable. But being held accountable doesn't mean being told you're the biggest problem at the club, there's no style of play, that we haven't improved, and that you should be sacked. It's such a knee-jerk reaction. And I'm no longer sure whether it is stupidity or clout chasing that makes people follow the exact same pattern, use the same words, same analysis, and same atypical basic breakdowns of why Man United are struggling. Maybe they think this is their time. This is their time to become a famous fan, become a content creator, make money. And fair play to you. If that's what you want to do, go do that. I've got no issues. But I remember doing multiple streams with when LVG, when Jose, when Ollie, when Ragnick were managers, and being told by these same people turning on Ten Hag, it is the exact same individuals. If we sack the manager, we improve. And people like myself said all along, yeah, we may. It's to play slightly better football, win some more trophies. But until the core of the club is changed, which the manager has no control over, none. Until that changes, nothing in the medium to long term with any manager will change. How amazing is it that 2, 3, 4, 5 managers later and down the line, the same situation appears again and again and again. It's as if by magic, a poorly run club will always end up in a poor position. And bringing in a new manager always acts as a band-aid, always acts as a plaster. I don't think Man United's season is finished. I don't think Man United's campaign is done. I think there's elements of yesterday's game that was very good. But Man United fans, if we turn on our manager now and start scapegoating him and create this narrative that he is the main problem at the club, the season is over. The toxicity will rip us apart again. The club is already rotten in so many areas. Let's help the manager this time. Please, let's not fall for the same parlor tricks again and again and again, because all we end up doing is strengthening the position of the Glazers. I want your opinions on the Sancho versus Ten Hag situation. Who are you backing in this? I've been honest about it. I'm more on Ten Hag's side based on Sancho's history, the manager's history, and the logic that I don't get what the manager gets out of lying from this. But I remain on the fence in terms of my mind can be changed. If Ten Hag's lying, you will see a very different reaction from me. I don't want to see Sancho abused. I don't want to see Sancho treated disgustingly. He doesn't deserve that. I don't think he's a bad human being by any stretch of the imagination. But I want your opinions on this and what the club has to now do to resolve this situation. And also, where do you sit on this Ten Hag out trend that has begun already? Hit the like buttons. Please subscribe to the Football Terrace, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.